What? Hello? Yes.
I'm gonna wrap a couple Christmas presents.
Okay.
Okay, so don't come out here for like 10 minutes.
That's good because I am live.
Right now?
Yes.
Yay!
All right. Let's get this started, AKAPADers. We need to get Dr. Octopus looking orange here. We want Doc Ock with a bright orange background. Now, I was supposed to do a YouTube video yesterday about this sketchbook where I am painting the Pokemon, and yesterday was a bad day. A lot of failure yesterday, very frustrating. I did get a video out. Just overall, like, not happy with a lot of the stuff from yesterday. So my goal today is to make up for some of that, jump on early, hang out with some of you. But mostly, I just want to do some work at the desk here. And I'm just cherry picking a couple brushes that might help me down the road. So expect that video to come soon. I did want to work on the Pokemon sketchbook this morning, but I can't work on it unless the video drops, and it's a whole thing at this point. Because I want to kind of announce the sketchbook project with the video. So here we go. Let's just get some. Here we go. Some nice bright orange red. Not so much orange. We're going for like an orange red here. We left well, actually, there is no white acrylic anymore, so we're done with that. Yeah, I just want this done, though. There's just a side of me that has seen it for long enough. So, and excuse me, we are always at a deficit when it comes to drawing table, cleansing. All right, not too terrible, everyone. We kind of did that a little bit quick, maybe a little bit too quick. Yeah, my overall intent with this video, with this like somewhat series or project, we'll call it, is to do things that would be unexpected. Now, keep in mind, I'm still suffering from this mystery illness I've had virus for well into a month now. How amazing is that? So, and we will jump to Cyclops. More specifically, we're going to jump into the original X Factor. And I don't know why. Something just stood out to me. I could have easily have put Spider-Man in this. And I just wanted the green with the bright orange. I don't know why. It stood out. Immediately became like a cool idea. And you get these ideas and you just immediately become obsessed with them. And this is a version or just like an idea about what Doc Ock is. That's just gone. It's so antiquated. And you might say to yourself, Pete, you're just like filling in the orange here. It's not, like where's the skill? Where's the normal cool stuff you always do? And I would agree with that. I really haven't done any streams where I don't have like a level of excitement anticipated for it, just as of like the energy of what I would be drawing, like coming to life. But for here, you guys get to watch how steady my hand really is. Windblock. Windblock, what is up, dude? Cheers. Good morning. Today we have hot coffee. For anyone keeping track. How are you? How are things? Windblock, any updates? What are the any customs you're working on? Hopefully you're working on a custom while you're hanging out with me, though. That I think that would be awesome. That would be a fun stream to do. One person customizing an action figure. But we're at least getting there. Right? Baby progress. These brush strokes are bothering the hell out of me, though. But again, we're dealing with a very fine, like almost like it's not coated, it's not really UV coated, but it is an extremely smooth paper. And I would just feel sorry for anyone who was younger and maybe like just kind of was curious about this book and they buy it, or grandma buys it for their grandson or granddaughter, and they're somewhat disappointed because like you need something on the level of a Sharpie just to get the most out of this book. But bear with me, everyone, because after this we will be moving on to X Factor. And then after X Factor, I believe we have Namor or Captain America. And Namor, I think, is a triple draw. There's like going to be 3 opportunities to draw from the same pose as for Namor. So one of those we're going to turn into the Jay Lee Namor, right? Or is that referred to anymore? Is the Jay Lee Namor referred to as like Savage Namor now? Yeah, what's the are you working on a action figure, Wind, or your comic? So a second coat here is really the difference maker. Second coat, a little bit of a bigger brush. We'll stay away from the line work. But there could be like a nice rich orange for this. I don't know. That's really what's in my head. That's what I have to get out of my head. but I do like a little bit of like the smeariness of the background kind of getting lighter around Doc Ock. So like bright orange to like rim him, so to speak. But then lighter, like kind of smoky smearing. Maybe smoky's not the right term, not the right adjective. Well, that's not really a descriptor, I'll say. All right, I think we are. I think this is a little bit there, right? I think we have some natural transitions of just color. This is like GE, good enough. Always keep your brushes clean, people. All right, moving on. We are getting rid of the acrylics. We may have to, this is still so wet. So I don't even want to turn the page, but well, I think we can though. So it's right here. See, so we had like another piece of tracing paper over this. And I kind of forgot my original plan of action, but the tracing paper side was supposed to be X Factor. And then you were going to turn this and you were going to get the 90s Jim Lee era with the Jim Lee Cyclops design. So we're just going to flip it. We're going to make this into X Factor Cyclops. And then, you know, I had Professor Xavier sketched in here, but we'll do the, we'll do Jean Grey, Beast, Iceman, and Jean Grey. Angel. And then, see, then it's just going to be stick figure drawing. We'll fill those in. A lot of that I can do off camera. But yes, here we go. This is the big one, Captain America. And this Captain, we're going to do the Heroes Reborn Captain America. Just for anyone following. So we got like a decent spread here of just straight up acrylic work. You know, some Rogue's hair here is really bothering me like so much that yeah, like it's almost like I should have made I should have realized the opportunity and made a little bit more of her hair like solid black, just kind of like shadowed. It's still a mess though. Her hair in here is a mess. Yeah, Susie Uzi. Yeah, I was working on issue 3. Where I'm a few pages into issue 3. And then yeah, just kind of like generating a couple ideas for issue 4, but yeah, I should be I didn't get to do it this week. But the printer had a couple questions about the printing for 2. I haven't had time to go see him today, and he's not open on the weekends in Philly. Or if he, I think he's open today, but only until like 11 or 12, like way too early for me to get there. But yeah, hopefully soon we'll have physical copies of 2, and then shipping will recommence very soon after that, which is a big relief to me. And then there will just be at that point though. I think we're just going to start doing bundles instead of ordering things individually. We can add more value shipping by bundles. So as this is drying, like this is drying. Let's just get into. We can just get into a little bit of other work, like this. We can do some practical inking here. Let's just get in. Let's just pivot. I think that's going to take some time to dry. But let's get into some comic book inking. Comic book inking, the dead art form. We're just taking things off the top of the stack with this one here. Couple of pages, nice. Well, and Windblock, blood packs in full color, right? So I messed up that cross hatching there. Butchered that. Yes, I would say stick with blood. Stick with black and white anyway, dude. You know, you can always later release it in color. I would say that the biggest thing would be to get to the stage where you can show off the character, show off the story, or like what the draw of the book is. Because with comics, it goes either way. You know, it can be like plot heavy or it can be character heavy. Comic books is like the only of those like storytelling art forms that allows both to kind of happen at the same time, which makes again helps makes comics very unique. Jamie, dude. Whoa, Jamie, what's this logo? What is that, bud? That looks wild. Well, to Jamie, Windblock, and Diverse, but Jamie and Diverse for popping in. Cheers, guys. And yes, Diverse, if you're checking in, we have Crypt hanging out with us. Crypt, hey, Diverse, just as a side note, Crypt now has some of my own splatter on him. He's got some white speckles and some black India ink on him too. So, but yeah, guys, we're working in the Marvel activity book, but grinding this out in the meantime. And speaking of that, let's get back to the workbook, the activity book, as we'll call it. Let's switch gears. Earlier on this very stream, we wrapped up Doc Ock here, and then I jumped ahead and are we dry? Yeah, we are dry. I jumped ahead and started Cyclops. I did Cyclops yesterday just because I was getting a lot of phone calls during the morning again. Not a lot. I got 2 back-to-back phone calls. And I originally wanted to do I wanted to change this up. I wanted to use the tracing paper to make the 90s Cyclops into the X Factor Cyclops. But because I was like drawing and working and having different conversations, my mind lost track of what the plane of action was. So the tracing paper side is 90 Cyclops. And then when you turn it, we'll go back in time to the X Factor Cyclops. And we'll do that right now. I don't know. I was thinking of, like, I was trying to think of something cool to do for Cyclops, like something unexpected. And I don't know. Like, I really, sometimes it's the first thing that pops into my head. That's what ends up on the paper. And for here, it's definitely not that. Sometimes you have confidence in your first ideas. Sometimes you don't. So give me a second here. I'm just trying to get some of these ink, these lead smudges out of here, so we have a little bit better of a surface. Erasing works very little with this paper because, again, it's like smooth and glossy, but not terribly glossy. It's just more smooth than anything. I think that's good enough. So we're going to bring up some quick reference. Yeah. Always, dude. Always working. And there it is, people. There it is. The cough. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Sure. Windblock, I'm more interested in Uzi Susie artwork from all of you. I do have some artwork already stockpiled that I want to start releasing. Yeah, dude. Jamie, this logo is just awesome, dude. Very cool. I love the red, white, and blue. Great color scheme. Always a win. Give me 1 second, guys. All right, and then let's get some. Let's get some X Factor cooking here. And we want, here we go. This is the Butch Goist over here, guys. This is the version of X Factor that we want. So it's not that, it's really not, I mean, like, we are dealing with. I'm going to bring some of the X kind of goes down his shoulders here. We're going to do a little bit of a exaggerated X just because we can. And people, like, that is it. Like, that's all you got to do for the 90s, 80s. X Factor was 86, 87. X Factor 1. Fact check me on that. Yeah, and we got, we're going to put Jean Grey right here. Yeah, put all the weight on one of her legs. We're not quite there yet, guys. Give me a second. Sometimes you gotta wait for the brain to kick in to get some of these measurements. You know, because like you measure as you draw. That's why it's like you go, like, you know, it's critical to know how to go to kind of train yourself to be able to go back and forth. But I really, this era of X Factor though, it's like, it's just so funny. You think if they would have preserved the characters, and I get it, you know, like, I'm all for them kind of like killing Jean Grey off again with the Phoenix, in the Grant Morrison era. But the reason why you would preserve these characters though is to be able to like have them like come back as X Factor. Like, you know, like to kind of, you know, to like always return to these uniforms. But I would just say, like, overall, I think, and you guys can maybe, you know, back me up on this, right? Like, has, like, did X Factor resonate, you know, like the costumes and everything that kind of that embodies X Factor? Like, I just don't think it did. I don't think the concepts resonated, and, you know, like the concept being the original team, like, back at it, like, as of right now, right? Like, the original team has zero significance. Like, zero. Like, the original team for X Factor means like nothing. Like, people don't care. I know that I think they did a Marvel Legends of the Cyclops, but it's still kind of like, who cares? Like, nobody cares. Yeah, hold up here. I kind of got lost in the sauce already here with this angel. Let's see here. The big eraser does not work. The Crypt action figure. Crypt is a lone assassin. Crypt doesn't need any partners, any help. He is always by himself. Yeah, I would say like maybe like my weakest point, like just drawing wise, has got to be hair. Because I just always draw my hair like so wild. I never draw it like normal, and I do have to get better with that. Even though like I always say that we draw like fantasies and we should kind of be mindful that a lot of the stuff we work on, like it's make believe and we should embrace it. But my hair is atrocious. Unknown, what is up? Unknown 88, what is up? Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I was kind of a little bit curious, but I do like that, Jamie. Yeah, very cool, dude. Very cool. Like, like they kind of call that, like, like that's like a little bit of, like world building, like in that. Yeah, and what we'll do is we're almost going to like pretend we're like tooling a action figure here. Oh, got a phone call, guys. Give me a second here. Sorry about that, guys. That was Mama DeLuca calling for some technical help. Had to help her through a quick issue. Yeah, like, and just working on this, just real quick. I'm gonna get right back into some of those chats. But doesn't this like upset you just knowing how much they've kind of just broken down the character Cyclops? Like he's just like he's a shade of who he used to be in the comics, and not in like a really good way. Like the way that they transform Cyclops is just it just seems comical. And I don't know why there's not more people that like kind of like rebel against Marvel for that reason, because Cyclops is again like a staple character. But again too, like they've broken down Wolverine so much. Cyclops is just like easy pickings at that point. So, like, we got something going here, right? Yeah, Fabric. I kind of been debating doing like a Hogarth drawing series to kind of break down some of his methods. I got a lot of interesting ways of approaching Fabric. Fabric is a big thing, period, and it's a sticking point. A lot of people get hung up. They are definitely Fabric, it's not easy. Like, everyone always acts like you just like, it's almost like just draw it, make it look a certain way. And you have to see things in your mind's eye. You have to be able to imagine what that line is going to do. Okay. And that's one of the hardest parts of drawing. Is just having can I talk confidence in like what your steps are, what you're doing with your materials, like all of it. Yeah, give me 1 second here, guys. I just want to focus on this plunging neckline. And it's going to go a little bit down his leg here. It's funny how a lot of the design work from this team kind of like ended up in the 90s aesthetic. Like just kind of like a lot of inner pattern that went from like the armpit down into the thigh, like very 90s. Yeah, and we're saying 90s as like the best way to describe something. It's not like a clear people always say 90s style and things like that, and it's like, like what do we like mean by that? Like, how are we defining 90s style? But that's what makes the 90s so effing good. It's like it's still a little bit difficult to pinpoint exactly what 90s style is and what makes it unique. But here, I think we're like, somewhat of a keeper of the torch, keeper of the flame when it comes to 90s style. Some of this here, this is all John Romita Jr. This is just always how I saw JR. his, when, especially on his 2000s Spider-Man run. So we're drawing like armaments here, but we will make the armaments into his yellow gloves and yellow booties. We're just adding just a little bit more texture, and I don't know, like I guess you can say like updating it or making it a little bit more interesting, a little bit more cool. So the fun part of this, I realized too, is I haven't had much luck with yellow with this book at all. Like yellow on the tracing paper, sure, but let's just get the X Factor Cyclops out of the way. Then maybe we can play with some of the other characters, and let's catch up on some of the chats. Yeah, YouTube blood. YouTube blood. Bless this Saturday. Jamie saying goodbye to the wind block. They actually did. Isn't that funny, Jamie? They did transform the Cyclops. The Cyclops. You know what? Wait, hold up. I just remembered because we had been doing some cleaning. I just found these. I must have just bought a bunch of them at Five Below. We should have a fresh orange, fresh yellow in here. Five Below has incredible like art supplies. Yeah, look, we're smearing already. Son of a gun. We're done with that quickly. So let's try the Prisma, even though I wanted to stay away from the Prismas, especially the Prisma yellow. Yeah, this is not, wow. So here's the big idea. The big idea would be, can we get away with a little bit of acrylic? Right? Like we have to try it at this point. But do we have yellow? I don't think we have yellow acrylic at arm's reach. One second, everyone. You guys are going to hear some wrestling. We're on a quest for yellow that will stick. Got some gouache here, but look, this one's dry solid. This one's dry solid. Oh, and that's not even yellow. All right, let's think here, guys. Let's think. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, yellow. I bought these for something else. Let's go. Yellow marker, paint marker. I bought these for highlights. Let's get this out of the way. And I had to, just if we're keeping track, I had to pull this orange out of the acrylics I bought for my Pokemon sketchbook. That was a video. That's just so. Pretty soon, guys, we're going to be documenting me learning acrylics, and I kind of did a test Pikachu here. So the whole idea is to fill this up with all Pokemon. But let's get this going. Wow, you smell that aerosol like right away. So here we go. So this is also going to, what this will do is it takes away a little bit of what I can do shadow wise. And I guess maybe what I should have done was I should have done an underlayer of like maybe orange. I should have shaded this and then hit it with the like hit it with the yellow. Yeah, and we're right now, so we're blasting it around like around the line work, and it just again like it looks very Clayton Crane, doesn't it? But here we go. We have a version of the X Factor Cyclops. A version. At least we can recognize this one, right? Guys, that was huge. I forgot. So I bought 3 of these a good time ago. Not a good time, maybe like a month ago. There's like a blue one floating around here. And the reason why I bought them was because I wanted to get better with some of the highlights for my other pieces. Just so I can make things pop a little bit more. And I wasn't so reliant on showing things through white, if that makes any sense. All right, so let's get back into the blue. Because Cyclops should always be blue and yellow, right? Like that's universally accepted. Cyclops is blue and yellow, period. No, dude, these are from Five Below, Jamie. Jamie, I use I do have a set and a ton of singles for the Prismacolor, but I even here I use the chisel tip Prisma. We are no Copic. But Jamie, there's a is it Huon or Huey? There's a company that kind of created the Copic killer, they call it. And there's a lot of video analysis on it. And their range of markers are like they're so much cheaper than Copic, and I know they're available on Amazon. I was going to get those very soon, the full complete set, and do like a little bit of a sketchbook project, and where I kind of learn and I teach myself how to use the brush tip markers. So we're going to go over this also just for a little bit of narration, a little bit of tracking. We're going to hit this with a darker blue. Yeah, and that darker blue is just going to make just enough of it pop. And this is looking a little bit too sketchy also for my taste. Up here we have a piece of eraser here that is now painted into. Here we go. So let's get some of that darker blue. That will help with some of the black highlights, or like the black shadows, not highlight shadows. And you guys will see it. Like it kind of. So what I would do here is you go over with the darker blue, right? You go over it with the darker blue. And then you kind of, where you like the blue, you just attack it, like approach it again with more of that black. And you kind of go back and forth. Like I call that the toggle. You toggle in both directions at the same time. And that's where like you develop your eye on what's really happening with the piece. Like you almost see it. You almost see it for what it is, and you kind of see it through the audience's eyes a little bit more. Sorry, guys, my nose is dripping right now. So give me a second here. So now I can kind of go back with some additional darks, with some lights. Yeah, and you kind of you go back and forth, and you just fill in like all the messy areas. You know, leaving some white, leaving some, again, like the interpretation, or like areas of interest, like opportunities to, like, for the eye. See here, like underneath the rib cage, I'm adding some additional line work here. I'm reinforcing the shadows around the yellow, like the yellow intersections, just so that the uniform looks more like a uniform, more like it's manufactured than spandex. That seems to be a little bit of the Marvel Cinematic Universe aesthetic that kind of, like, it did catch on. Like, we have to be honest about that. Like, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and all of its like faults and all of its glory, you do have to admit that it did kind of popularize a lack of spandex in the superhero universe, and people just see superheroes a certain way now, and it's very interesting seeing some of that. See, like, here we go. See, and then we can kind of just, again, like, you toggle back and forth, enforcing, reinforcing, just to get something to pop. And I'm going to try now to put some orange on this. And actually, what we can do, if we can use the orange marker, we got orange acrylic that we were using earlier, but let's try the marker first. And the marker, let's see, does not work. So we're going to go back into the acrylics. And now I need a little bit of a, there we go. We'll just try this one with some aqua. You do want, acrylics is awesome because it really is like part watercolor. Because you can use aqua to just loosen up the application. And that's something I'm practicing with. I'm trying to get better at that. So this is almost a dry brush technique here. For good old Alex Summers. Scott Summers. Alex is Alex is Havoc. Oh my god. Brain fart there. That's where I got hanged in my comic book club ID card. You lose access when you make that mistake. Yeah, so like these little shots of orange. Again, I'm picking the intersection points. I'm picking what I feel like the curves are, what the bumps are, and it's just helping this yellow, become it. What it does is it makes the yellow a little bit more yellow because now it becomes a little bit of a real color because it has dimension. Like it is dynamic. So, we get the effect, right? 90s X Factor. We had to do it in reverse, but you know what? Looking back, I kind of like doing X Factor here more than what the because I was going to do Gambit, Professor Xavier, maybe a little bit of the X-Mansion. All right, guys, give me one moment. I do have to blow my nose. All right, guys, we're back. We're back. Cheers, cheers, cheers. Refilled with some real quick interim workout because I will be working out when we're done here. Kicking the coffee. All right, so we got to get into Little Miss Jean Grey here, or we should work on. I feel like, well, I got put Beast in here somewhere, right? We got Beast maybe here, and then Iceman here. Yeah, let's do Jean Grey. Just cause I just want to work on her. So a lot of times I like to go right for the torso. Because again, it helps me measure. Yeah, dude. Magneto is like we like can we kind of I try and always find like commonalities and things we can all like agree on, right? Can we say that Magneto in all of the X-Men movies, like there's not one where he's not like they don't nail him. Even if it's like Fassbender or Ian McKellen, like the way that they understood Magneto in the X-Men movie, I think is it just makes an argument for, you know what, maybe these Hollywood people know what they're doing, and I know it from our perspective, from like the comic book world, it seems like they're clueless. But sometimes, this leg is way. Oh, geez. This leg was way too long, guys. I'm sorry. I called it in mid-talk, and it is... we're in trouble with this leg. Whoops. There's also something wet over here. I keep running my hand across it. But, yeah, Magneto in... Dude, even... I like him a lot, too, in X-Men Apocalypse. Because it's like the only time that they... you just saw what he could do to... like the world, like him being like an actual world threat. I love in X-Men First Class the whole submarine bit, because that goes back to like the original issues. That's such a good callback or head nod. Sorry, I'm just looking at some of her hair here. I have to. I gotta make a run of practicing with hair. I just always feel like I screw up with hair. Yeah, and I'm trying to see. I'm kind of dealing with a very small JPEG of the cover too. So hold up here. So guess what too? I have yellow here to contend with. We'll make some of it look a little bit like armored, just so she can match Cyclops. All right, so let's get back to the issue with the yellow. Where the heck's that marker at? Right here. Jean Grey, yellow and green. But you know what though? First, let's do something with her hair. Not her hair, her power. Right. Because we're kind of emulating the way that they used to illustrate her power. And we're using a Prismacolor for anyone taking notes. And be mindful, gang. My intention with a lot of the broadcasting and going live with this is for all of you. You know, like I'm not trying to train you or teach you how to illustrate or anything like that. My goal is to give you like almost like enough ideas where you can go off on your own and you kind of know what to expect. Because like that's really the path to illustration is it's a solo quest. It's a journey. It's a journey by yourself. You know, like no course or class. Like none of these things that no online course. Like kind of paying someone to be like a teacher. Right? Like none of that stuff is going to work. The only path for you is you have to kind of go into a room, lock the door, and just like practice. Like having a lock on your door and no cell phone is like the best thing you can do to learn how to draw. And that's a lot of what my intent is. I just want you guys to realize that. And platforms like this, it gives me an opportunity to, I think, help people. You know, like give you guys a good shortcut, just so you don't have to deal with some of the BS I dealt with. And that BS is life. You know, life is going to come at you, and life is going to take away your motivation. It's going to take away your inspiration and your gusto. All of these things, and that's what you have to rebel against. That's the struggle, and that's the war. And people that don't tell you that, people that act like it's comments like mine are frivolous or over the top or uneducated. They got all kinds of fun ways. This green, by the way, guys, is not the right type of green, just so you know. We're going to have to come in with some apple green, because this is Eagles color green right here. But we're using it for some good shadows, though. Well, that's kind of right. That's good enough. We're building out X Factor here. It just gets mesmerizing the way you go back and forth. But yeah, and sorry guys, we're all over the place here with some of our discussion points. All right. Time for the angel. Warren Worthington. Yeah, hold up. Here we go. Yeah, Disney is going to revoke my Marvel license. So here's the question: should I Warren Worthington or Archangel? Don't say Archangel, because I think gets a little tricky. Shoot. Yeah. Like I don't know too much about Kirby for hair inspiration, but I never thought about it. I'm not saying that's not a good path, but I just feel like I have to grind it out. I just do. I have to do like a grinding hair sesh. Yeah, go to France, go to Italy, right? If you want to learn, if you're interested. Look, like part of it too is like you get what you need as of like an education from like as many different sources as possible, right? Like that's a little bit of the track too, because you don't want to give yourself too many sources. Otherwise you're gonna be like chasing your tail. So you do want to have like a targeted path. And then at that point, just be able to accelerate it into an education for yourself. And look, like some people, like I guess like me, like I always rejected the notion of art school and stuff like that, like always, like just even from like my younger days. And but kind of looking back, I kind of say, like, you know what, maybe I should have been a little bit more aggressive about going to art school or figuring out like what that path was, because like there are shortcomings that I developed, but also the important part though is that you network within these schools, and that's the most important thing, is the networking aspect. If someone, I say this a lot now, like if someone explained that to me when I was younger, I would have things may be different. I don't know if I would have made the right decisions or different decisions from that point on, but I definitely, like I just feel like it's like I would had to like to have known. How about that? So we're drawing Warren here real quick through the typeface. Yeah, but we do live in an age. I will say this, like where and I'm making a point. I'm not attacking anyone, but we're kind of in an age where developmental or rudimentary artwork, it kind of has an audience. Like it's there's a lot of people who like clearly lack the ability to illustrate, that kind of have an audience, and they kind of have careers, and they're known, and like no fault to them, like at all. Like God bless them, because they're doing something that I thought was like impossible. Like I was always under the pressure of like things have to be a certain way. You have to be able to illustrate a certain way, just to get into the conversation. And we're kind of in this deconstruction age where, like you don't need to be able to draw to work for Marvel. Like how about them apples? I always liked his headpiece here. The X Factor Angel headpiece is just awesome. We're doing this a little bit deeper red here, just so we can kind of make it hopefully pop through all the words, if you guys can want to see this. And we're going to be very loose here with these, with the interpretation of the wings. And the reason why we're going to be loose is we're not dealing with a paper that's welcoming to detail or variation. I mean, we just want a little bit of the impression of the wings. And I'm not even sure how we're going to color these, because the light blues are iffy and my grays don't come in over here. But let's just kind of, again, too, we have to get back to that yellow. I keep losing that yellow because we got to do the yellow hair. All right, let's see here. All right. And now what happened to? Give me 1 second, guys. Too. I'm going to get right back into some of that chat conversation. If I can figure out. We'll just get to the wings real quick. I don't know what happened to her. I put it somewhere and it disappeared. All right, that's maybe a little bit something there. But then now I'm just obsessed with this yellow hair. We got to get this yellow hair going, guys. We are not. Found the pink one. Found the pink one. Not in my pocket. How funny is that? Oh, here it is. It rolled underneath my drawing board. Here we go. We got it, guys. We found it. What else is underneath there? Okay. Just a Sharpie. We found it. Here we go. Then once that dries, we can kind of add a little bit more pop to the flow of it. Just redo some of that line work. So here it would be kind of like I would put Bobby. We'll call this one Bobby proper, right? I'm going to make him like leaning. because, like, you know, like we kind of. I would love to make it so that he's on like an iced X. But we'll kind of make it more on like an iced. I don't know. Like he made his own ledge. We'll just call it that. I always like people that did ice with Iceman with some steam like coming off of them. And then yeah, we do have the Blue Beast. And I guess we can put the Blue Beast like right here. So we got, yeah, we'll have all of X Factor here. Make him like sitting down, like crouching. So some of this too is to like we hide the mechanical aspect of Cyclops just standing there, where like everyone else is like in motion to some degree. Yeah, and then from here we're going. So like, if you guys want to just review like where we are with this real quick. So let's get into it. It's getting tougher to flip through it too. Some, I don't know if that's a booger or glue. Let's get into some of these comments. Yeah, redrawn. Yeah, 26,000. Yeah. Yeah, freehand drawing, I think, is really the lost art. To be quite honest, there's not a lot of freehanders anymore. So here we go. Right, we're getting into it first. Tracing paper or overlay. This was the previous owner of this book did start this, so we added to it. And then yeah, we got a Spot, Big Boa, Gene Simmons, Kiss, Freddy Krueger, the Flash. Then we get Beast. So I guess, wow, we're going to have two Beasts like that quickly. We got some Beast, Wolverine, Storm. Yeah, a little bit of a Thor exercise. I drew in the Storm Clouds here. More exercises and rounding forms. We did Frog, Thor, Psylocke. The ending of Sabotage, the Todd McFarlane, Rob Liefeld crossover, X-Force, Spider-Man, where Todd McFarlane, I guess, famously quit Spider-Man over the panel where Shatterstar stabs through Juggernaut's helmet. They edited that. He didn't like it. So this was like, hey, what happens after that? So there we go. We have our answer. And then we have, here we go, Rogue, Doc Ock. Hold up here. We can fix that. Guys, we can fix anything here, right? Let's just get, we need a little bit of lavender. See right here. Here you go. So it wasn't quite dry. And then we have, we just skip a couple more. And then we'll jump onto Cyclops and X Factor. So pretty solid, pretty solid. and then we will. The big one we're waiting for is going to be the Heroes Reborn, Captain America. Which we can play with some of that right now. We're already at 2 hours. People too, Philly today, nothing but fog. The fog is lifting. I don't know if you guys were able to see some of the sun come up. Oh wow, this is maybe a little bit trickier because I'm having trouble seeing through some of the line work here. Like I almost want to just make him holding the shield too. I kind of have a feeling I should have made this into Cap Wolf or Jack Flag. If you guys really know Captain America history. Yeah, some of this is tricky. So some of this too is right. Like we just need to. Here we go. That helps. I think that's what we were missing, and we are beefing this dude up like 1,000%. A lot of this stuff too is quick work because we're not rotating the camera much. We're doing a lot of what I would call like twin shots. I always draw his like the flaps of his boots kind of just like in motion. I'm still not. I'll say this. Like I'm not seeing this very well. Like I'm not seeing this like on a level of like confidence. And that's why sometimes like, you have to kind of keep working it to kind of again see it in your mind's eye. Like you see it, you do it. Yeah. So it just give you guys a little bit of an idea of what's incoming. I'll definitely sculpt and round out these legs a little bit more. Like I have to also imagine, what is he doing? Like, why is he in this pose? And again, like, all the answers are not easy. Like, you have to work through them sometimes. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think we're gonna give him like a couple more straps, and we'll give him pouches for sure. Again, just make him look more militaristic. It is funny how Captain America became a pouch character post Liefeld working on him, and for some reason, like, that is so universally accepted now. Like, people just don't even care. It's hilarious. All right, guys, I'm going to try, and we're going to wrap this up very soon. Yeah, Jamie. Yeah, like, I'm not against multiverse. I liked it. Yeah, I give them credit. Yeah, I always give props when they kill major characters. But but this time I really feel like I don't know why she had to kill the Illuminati. That's the one sticking point in that movie. Americo Chavez, like, fine. The way that they worked her in, fine. A lot of people, I commend a lot of people that worked on that movie, knowing as many times that they possibly rewrote and reshot certain sequences. The production for that was a grind. But overall, like, it's hard to follow what version of Scarlet Witch we're dealing with. Some of those elements are tough, but visually it's amazing. I'll put it on every now and again because I like some of the elements of that. Like, I would say I like it more than Spider-Man No Way Home. Yeah, thank you, Jamie. Jamie, thank you so much, buddy. We're going to get back to it. Just to preview a little bit more of what we have coming. Looking forward to drawing some of these headshots. So we got some above the neck work. And again, too, like, isn't this crazy? We got one Hulk coming, but then we have like 3 Namor. Like, maybe 4. I don't know why. But yeah, rocking and rolling, guys. Thanks for hanging out. We will be done this soon. And I'm happy to do it. This was on my list for a long time. And be on the lookout. We will be doing some production artwork.